Hey guys, Tay here from Crosshair Games X, bringing you a really quick video on the state of Origin Access. In short, it's, I mean, as scummy as it can get. There's literally when you try to buy a game, I want to play Battlefield 4 for example, it shows you all this, it presents to you total market language, choose how you want to play. You could go with the basic bitch, Origin Access Premium, Battlefield 4 Premium Edition version, and it just says join basic today, play Battlefield 4 Premium. Or you could get the Premium Access Edition, play Battlefield 4 Premium Edition now plus upcoming EA titles before launch. Interested in not interested in joining today? Oh, just buy now. It shows you this nice chart on how little you get from actually buying and downloading the game onto your PC. Instead of buying and downloading the game and not having access to it if you decide to stop paying the money. It's so scummy. This brings me to my next point, which is the games as a streaming. Game streaming is a feature and games as a service. Both just don't work in terms of how games are developed. It would take, something completely radical. Some changes would take way more than 10 years to, you know, come into fruition. Um, Indie devs don't want their games streamed. Uh, People don't want their games to disappear and them not have access to that game ever again because they don't own a copy of it. Most people in the US can't even do that kind of thing because they have your average double digit megabyte per second connection where they can't even play an online game while streaming it from the host, which in this case would be something like Origin Access or the much loved, quote, Google Stadia, which basically, has been a debacle since it came out. Sorry for the sound of my yeah, it sounds like I'm suffering here, but I'm actually just kind of congested. So, this is so intrusive. All these, everyone knows EA is already pretty scummy, and not being able to review titles on Origin is already stupid enough. Everyone has their gripes with something like Epic Games and your inability to review stuff on Epic Games. Everyone's kind of gathered that these companies just don't want their version of Steam, BattleNet, Epic access to get completely fucked over in the comments all the time by people that know how shitty their marketplaces are. So they just kind of ignore the fact that they don't have comments and try not to fix everything. It's just go ahead and pay attention to this actually. Get our access. Anyway, speaking of this, you can't get new games on Basic, and that's taking it lightly. Like Madden 20 is not a new game. Let's go to Origin Access here. The selection does not warrant you paying monthly for it. I would never pay monthly for Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic from 2005. The game selection is kind of bare bones. There's just not enough good stuff outside of the shovelware to warrant paying them monthly. One of the big reasons why we exit PSN and Xbox Live is because of this I pay for my internet, I don't need to pay for my internet again kind of mentality. Um, but again, these are games that have been out for a good little amount of time already. And if you want to play anything like Madden 20, you're going to go here to Premier Vault. And hey, look, you could play Madden 20, FIFA, Plague Tale, Need for Speed on Premier if you get Premier. Can't get it with Basic. You got to pay the $100 or $14.99 a month, which is for a lot of people quite a significant amount. Or you can just get the game, right? Not interested? See, it's this that is disturbing. Their love for this kind of, just pushing their mentality on us. You get nothing if you want to buy the game and own it yourself or have your own copy on your. I mean, who am I kidding? We don't own our games these days anyway. But having your own download on your own copy on your own desktop, fuck all that. You could get an evolving collection of games as if you couldn't do that by yourself by saving money and buying games yourself. Early access. Premiere would make sense for a reviewer if they made enough money reviewing games in order to do that. I mean, even reviewing games would become a different beast, which is why streaming games and games as a service won't work. Yeah, at least in the next 20 years, it won't work. And the only way for it to come sooner is if people subscribe to this kind of bullshit. You know, if maybe a rich dad has money in his pockets and he buys his kid a PC, but he doesn't want to buy his kid games, so he does this instead. That makes a lot more sense, but I think that kind of mentality would be the downfall for the rest of us. I mean, to me, if streaming games and games as a service became the norm, I would probably just go fishing every weekend instead and focus on that. I have plenty of hobbies. Gaming's always been my number one, but I mean, I have other things that I could enjoy just as much. If games as a service takes over as the norm sooner because of things like Google Stadia and their dumb ads saying it's superior, or Origin Access, maybe EA shutting off any way to actually buy their games and become a subscription service only for their games. Yeah, I think I'd probably go get a nice new fishing rod and drive out to northern Arizona and get myself some nice fish. Stop using this kind of stuff. If you're using this, please don't spread it. This is the last thing that the most of us really want to see is the nail in the coffin for everything we've been trying to stop for the past decade. For example, the DRM policies that the Xbox One had, tried to enforce long ago when they first announced it at E3. Those policies were shot down. The Xbox One, compared to the PS4, just catastrophic failure compared to the 360. That kind of DRM policy resulted in PSN taking that throne back for the console wars. And that's the kind of thing that we've been trying to stop, that EA and Google Stadia are boasting are the future. So I'm going to have a coughing fit, and I will DC and see you guys later before I do that.